Hello, this is Rev Dore, Jacques Patlian, teaching religious science, teaching of the science of mind, from Sarasota, Florida. Today, Oz and the Tin Man. The inspiration for this post was the rather unique lyric style of the 70s rock group America. You may remember their epic album, A Horse with No Name. And there was a song in that album called The Tin Man, and in there's a lyric that says, Oz never gave nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. And it hit me while listening to this song streaming off my trusty Razor Max phone into my car sound system that so many of us are the Tin Man, the Lion, or the Scarecrow. We already have the thing we so desperately seek. The Tin Man wanted a heart. The Lion wanted courage. The Scarecrow wanted a brain. They could not see that what they sought was already within them, that they had it. But they couldn't use it until they knew it was there. If you've got something and you don't know it, you can't use it. It was like hidden treasure. All the Wizard of Oz did was convince them with smoke and mirrors that he had magically given each what they needed. He transferred beliefs, means of magic, to those who needed it. That's really what religion does, isn't it? It transfers belief by means of ceremony, ritual, and dogma. Since we're unable to believe in ourselves, we need religion or Oz or something to help us see beyond the face in the mirror. Now, this is an ordained minister speaking to you, so you may wonder, how come you're knocking religion? Well, I'm not really knocking it. I'm just telling you what it does. Actually, we don't really like religion much because it divides people in different camps. My religion's better than your religion, and yours is false and mine's true, and all that stuff. We prefer spirituality, which unites us in the celebration of the one great power that creates everything there is. That makes more sense to us. What if I told you there's no shortage of anything in this world? Would you believe me? Probably not, because you can see shortages everywhere, at least apparent ones. There are people sleeping rough, as they say in Britain. Sounds so much nicer than homeless, doesn't it? There are kids who go to school without breakfast, lots of them. Their only meal is the free federal lunch they get in school. What do you mean there aren't any shortages? They're everywhere, a progressive transplanted New Yorker neighbor of mine shouted at me as we discussed this idea for the Post. I was running it by him. I said to him, no, Joe, there are only the appearances of shortage and lack. The reality is that there's plenty of everything. That this planet could support 5 times the population it has now, maybe even more. I will tell you that me getting Joe to accept the message of this post and kind of go along with it was the hardest sale I ever made. But in the end, the light went on and he went away home muttering to himself. The poor fellow may never be the same. What did I tell him? I told him that the Creator has endowed this planet with everything we could ever need. We only know a fraction of the bounty that he gave us. We can only see the stuff on the surface, just what we know right now. We can only see what we've already discovered, and that's not much. There is more in heaven and earth than can be known by your philosophy. That was William Shakespeare. Old Billy Shakespeare said that. What I'm saying is that all we know of the world is a bit like the Tin Man, what the Tin Man saw. He thought he didn't have a heart because he didn't feel it or see it. He was 10. How could he have a heart? And yet the evidence was all around him if he could have seen it. He was the first one to comfort Dorothy when she was scared and afraid, and to make everybody feel better. He was cheerful and happy most of the time. He had a heart of gold, and he never even realized it. Aren't we a bit like him? We think we're damaged goods. We think we're weak worms of the dust, but in reality we are divine beings, expression of the Most High God. We even have God within us, every one of us, no matter what color, tribe, nation, or belief. You see, we have almost unlimited power, and we don't even know it. Remind me of an old country song that you're wading knee-deep in a river and you're dying of thirst. We can imagine being things into being. We can take ourselves to places no human has ever seen. We can ask why, and then we can ask why not. We can look at a mess and immediately know just how to clean it up, whether that mess is homelessness or world peace. Notice I said can, but I didn't say may. We're able to do these things, but we seldom believe in our own ability to do them, so we don't give ourselves permission to do it, and nothing gets done. There is nothing the mind of a man or a woman cannot create, heal, or repair if they know how. And that's my job, is to teach it. An example. Now, I don't ever get political, so don't take this politically, but it is a big issue right now in America. Is there any reasonably bright person that doesn't know the answer to the problem of 12 million of our neighbors who kind of broke in America's door rather than knocking nicely, often decades ago? First, we have to understand that they came here to survive, not to do us any harm or to break a law. They came because a man or a woman can only look in the eyes of their hungry child just so long before doing something. You can't be a parent of a child and watch them starve. A man can only hear his wife cry just so many nights because she is afraid for her children and fears that she just can't go on. She won't have enough strength to see them grown. With a 15-year wait for a visa, which is what it is for a Mexican national, unless you got a lot of money, what is a man or woman to do? I know what I'd do. I'd take a midnight tour of the Arizona desert and join Cousin Juan in L.A. washing dishes, making 20 times what I could make in the village back home. Now, I'm talking about minimum wage, and it's still 20 times what I could make back home in those villages. Not necessarily in the city or working in a factory, but we don't get those people here. We get the people who are desperate and have no help. There's only one answer to the undocumented. Bring them into the family, make them Americans, and let them enjoy the thrill of taxes like the rest of us. It's a fait accompli, ladies and gentlemen. It's already done. You can't unring a bell. Okay, they broke a law. So did Jean Valjean in Les Miserables. And yet we see Inspector Joubert, the policeman who pursued him all his life, as the villain, and Jean is the hero. Yes, Jean stole a loaf of bread to feed a child and himself. Is there one of us who would not do the same if there was no other way? I don't think so. It's all around us. The answers are staring us in the face. This world is a paradise that only our limited thinking makes less than perfect. Just a couple of years ago, there were dire predictions about the world running out of energy in just 50 years. We could only see what was in front of our faces, and that declining production from old oil fields. We didn't see that much of America is floating on an ocean of oil and gas, and I mean an ocean, even though geologists have known it for years. We wanted to believe the worst, as we usually do. We would not see that the United States is the Saudi Arabia of natural gas, and everything you can run on oil can be run on gas. You can convert a car to gas in about 30 minutes for a cost of about $300. It's the same substance in two different forms. There's enough gas and oil, just what we know of today, without any further discoveries, for at least 200 years. And that's our domestic production. And by that time, we'll be far beyond fossil fuels. There'll be antiques by then. When we think only with our senses, we're always deceived. We become the Tin Man who could not understand that what he wanted was already right inside of him. He needed the smoke and mirrors to believe it. Okay, here are the smoke and mirrors, and we better all believe it. Our happiness, and that of our children and grandchildren, depends on us awakening to who and what we really are, and finally crawling out of the darkness of divisiveness, polarization, and disharmony into understanding we are all one in God, we're all one in mind, we're all one in love and light. Whew! Maybe I should stop listening to that 70s rock. I get fired up. Until we are together again, bye-bye for now. This is Rev Dore Jacques Patlian telling you, if you want to know more about religious science, which is the teaching of the science of mind, you can log on to csl.org and find the Center for Spiritual Living, that's what we call our churches, near you. Sign up for one of our classes or come to a Sunday celebration. Music is awesome. You will be glad you did. Pick up a copy of my new book, The Death of Religion and the Dawn of Spirituality, on Amazon.com, and you'll learn how to live a 21st century spiritual life and make your life bloom. It's a cool book. It's lots of fun. Pick up a copy. Until then, bye-bye for now.